Good morning and welcome to London. This is my second stream. Hopefully I've got it all working. It seems to be okay. Right. I am sitting on the banks of Westminster at the present time. And I'm going to take a little walk with you this morning around London. I've got that. It's a bit of a damp morning, but hopefully it won't be too bad. I'm going to take you from a walk from Big Ben all the way to Tower Bridge. I haven't exactly planned what route I'm going to take, but I'll do the best I can. Let's go. Right, turn around and I will show you the County Hall, or what was the County Hall, which is now used for other purposes. Right. I appear to be live, and I appear to be broadcasting. Oh, look at that. The bells for 6:30. Welcome to London. I'm presently on the north bank of the River Thames. And as you can see there, that's Westminster Bridge. And the famous London Eye. I'm going to take a walk across the bridge. I'll be zigzagging across the bridges. I'm not going to take the direct route. Depending on the weather, if it starts to rain, I will obviously take a different route. Right. This is my second stream as IRL. Oh, good morning, Sydney. Nice to have your company on board. Something I've got to get used to is looking at me chat. It's like having two pairs of hands and need another two to do other things as well. But I'm taking a walk now towards Westminster Bridge. Going to walk across Westminster Bridge, walk down the South Bank side. You'll see an iconic site in a minute. Once I get out from under these trees. It's a very recognisable site of London. And here it comes right now. And you must probably all recognise that. Everyone calls it Big Ben. Big Ben is actually the bell in the clock, in the tower. The actual tower has been named the Elizabeth Tower after our late Queen Elizabeth II. So it's not actually Big Ben Tower, it's the Elizabeth Tower, and the actual bell in the top, the one you hear chime a lot, is the Big Ben. That's all part of the Houses of Parliament. That's where our government do their business, debating all the legal stuff and politics for the country. London this time of the morning is just starting to get busy. There's not many tourists around because obviously tourists don't like getting up early. So it's generally a nice time to walk around, especially around places like Westminster. All you see is the workers. As you can see. In the background there, just beyond the tower, is Westminster Abbey. Right, let's go over the bridge. I don't know how long this walk's going to take. It can take up to a couple of hours, but I might cut it short. It depends on the weather. We've had a slight shower, but it seems to have eased off for me at the moment. The views from these bridges along the River Thames is quite fantastic for looking at London. That's the Houses of Parliament. Been renovated quite recently, that's why it looks nice and clean. Right, we progress. Looking towards the City of London. In the distance is the Jubilee and the Charing Cross bridges. I'll be walking over that in a while. I'll show you that. So that's the London Eye. The London Eye opened in 1999. It cost about £70 million to make. So, but I think they're reaping all the money back in the cost it goes to get travel around the thing. The building there, just down to my left, is what is London County Hall, or was. It was where the Greater London Council had their headquarters. They moved out of there, and it was used for venues and stuff. And then in the end, they converted it, and now you've got a lot of attractions down there, which change from time to time. London Aquarium is also housed in there, along with London Dungeons. Looking upstream, you can see all those buildings there. All those buildings, believe it or not, are apartments. None of them are office blocks, they're all apartments, and very expensive apartments. It seems to be a thing in London now that most people live in apartments. People can't afford housing, and in London they can't afford apartments either. Good morning, Sam, how are you? Nice to see you in my chat. Oh dear. I didn't sleep too well last night. A little bit late getting into bed, and then of course, being today my second stream, it's just you know, the nerves play on you. Is the sound all right? I don't know what time it is where you are, Sam, but here in London it's 6:36 in the morning. As you know from my last stream, I'd done it very early in the mornings because I wake up 4 o'clock most mornings, and I always just get up and get out and take a wander around. And often I just hop on the train, come into London, and walk around London for a couple of hours, and then go back home. Fortunately, where I live, the train journey doesn't take that long. It's only about half an hour to get into London. So I can enjoy myself. It's nice coming to London. It's nice this time of day because, as you can see, it's empty. There's no tourists around. There's no hustle and bustle. You can very much got the place to yourself. £22.37. You're up late. I'll get to 10 o'clock and I'm falling asleep. Mind you, I need to go to bed at 10 o'clock to get me 6 hours kipping, because if I don't, I always wake up at 4 o'clock. And I've been doing that since, I can remember. When I was a youngster, I used to get up and used to deliver newspapers to people. I used to go a couple of rounds early in the morning, so I was always up early for that. And then when I started work, I did a lot of shift work, and that meant getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then for the next 42 years, I was on and off getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Retired 2 years ago, and still wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. On the North Bank side of the river, that is all government buildings. The orange the brick building you see directly opposite me there, that is what was Scotland Yard. That was the original police headquarters. Before that, it was some dignitary from Scotland. That's where it got the name Scotland Yard. Yes, Sam, you're right. It's the same all round. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Everything's becoming so expensive. And I don't know what the cause of it is. Sometimes I think it's just greedy people wanting more and more money for what they've got. But unfortunately, it's not good for the people who are starting out. When I bought my flat 14 years ago, and it's gone up six times the price I paid for it. It's ridiculous money for what it is. It's a 2-bedroom flat and it's nearly worth $500,000. It's ridiculous. It must be nice living in LA. The weather must be fairly predictable out there. Unfortunately, in the UK, you get used to the fact that it could be any weather. It could be a nice, warm, sunny day one day, and the next day it could be wet. You could go out in the morning, it's nice and warm, and by midday it's pouring down with rain. It could be cold, it could be warm. It's just one of those things. Right, we're right beneath the London Eye now. And as you can see, it's huge. Absolutely huge. Hope you can't hear my squeaky shoes. It's because the floor's wet. Yes, that's it, Sam. The price is just ridiculous. The thing is, people rent places. They do in the UK, they rent places, they're paying more than what they'd be paying if they had a mortgage, but banks won't give them the mortgage because they're not classed as being secure, which is ridiculous. They should have a system whereby if you've been paying for a flat for 10 years, for example, you should be in a position to be able to be trusted to pay a mortgage for the next 10 years. Unfortunately, they want capital behind it, and people can't afford to get the capital because they just don't have the spare cash anymore. Now, all this site here was part of the county hall, but it was cleared at one point and just converted into gardens. We're starting to walk towards what is the City of London. At the moment we're still in the City of Westminster. London is made up of many, many boroughs, and the actual real part of London is the City of London. We will enter that a little bit later on. Oh, good morning, Casper. Thank you for joining us. It's very quiet this time of the morning. It's the best time to walk around London. If you've never been to London before and you've come here as a tourist, get up early, get up and out, because there's no one else around. It's just so peaceful. It'll probably get a bit more busier in a couple of hours, but at the moment it's nice. Yeah. The bridges here are the Golden Jubilee Bridge. There's one either side footbridges. They were built for Queen Elizabeth II's Golden Jubilee. And in between them is the railway bridge, and that runs into Charing Cross Station. And the structure, the opposite side of the bridge there, is the Charing Cross railway station with offices built above it. Just to the right of that, you can see that tower sticking up there. That is the post office tower, or what was called the post office tower. It used to have all dishes and everything for satellite communications. I can't remember when it was built. 50s and 60s, I think it was built. But it's no longer used as a communications tower. It's more of a private venture. Moving on. Oh. Yeah, property tax, Sam, is unbelievable. You buy a property and then you have to pay tax on top of that as well, you know. Right. I can see my way to the bridge, so I'm going to go up. I'm going to cross over the bridge and cross back again, just to show you the views from the bridge. James Bond's headquarters. James Bond, you're talking about MI6 place. That is back the other way. I started at Westminster Bridge. If I'd gone right, I would have come across it, but instead I came left. Cool. Smell of chicken round here, fried chicken. Right, let's go up the bridge. Right, as I said, this is one of the Golden Jubilee footbridges. It was built for the Queen's Golden Jubilee. Quite impressive. And that over there is the Houses of Parliament. Elizabeth Tower with Big Ben in it. Said that alongside there, which was built in 1864, is the railway bridge. That was built by the South Eastern Railway. So it leads into Charing Cross. It's an extension from London Bridge to Charing Cross. The reason why I know a bit about it is because I used to work on the railway, and I used to be responsible for signalling trains in and out of Charing Cross for the best part of 25 years of my career. 42 years all told I had on the railway. There we go. We have a nice view of the west end of London. West side of London, not west end, west side of London. More and more we're getting apartment blocks built in London. I need to sort out my camera because it looks like it's in wide. Mama Swig! Oh, that is a nice surprise. I'm surprised you are really here because it must be near your bedtime where you are. Well, welcome to London. What more iconic than London than the Houses of Parliament over there and the London Eye just there. I'm presently walking across the Golden Jubilee bridges. I had visions of walking into London and it pouring down with rain because I was coming down the train, it started pouring down. And I thought, oh, by the time I get the other side it's going to be wet. But it looks like it's already passed here. It's quite dry at the moment. 10:48 p.m. Oh. You must be in a similar sort of time zone as Sam then. Now that building I did mention earlier is above Charing Cross railway station, and the railway sold the air rights to that company to build above their railway. Ironic really, they don't own any land, they just own the air rights to build above the railway. It's quite tastefully done actually, because it's very similar to what the original railway station looked like before it was pulled down. But the railway station is now just 6 platforms hidden underneath the building. Good morning, Gustavo, thank you for joining us. Although I think you are a bot of some sort. Yeah, looks like it. A lot of early morning joggers around. As you can see down below, the traffic is starting to build up as people move to come into London and start going to work. Now back on the south bank of the Thames. I'll primarily cross that just to show you the views on the upstream. I'll walk round to the other bridge and we'll walk back over. This building in front of me is a cabby's rest hut. They used to be all around London at one point. And this has been here many years. I have a painting at home which an artist did in 1912, and this actual cabby's hut is actually on that painting. But it's where cabbies will come and have a rest and they get free tea, coffee and breakfast. Right, you might lose me briefly as I go under the railway here. Tito! Hey, welcome buddy. Nice to see you. Right, I've just walked through Embankment Underground station there, which was, I was amazed that the signal was kept. We're now going back on the downstream Golden Jubilee Bridge. It's taking you back to the South Bank side, which is easier to walk than the north. Just away from all this traffic. Yeah, I appreciate that, Tito. I understand the work commitments and that. I had that myself at one point. But I never discovered Twitch until I actually retired from work. And I just happened to come across Sarah Bridgewater's stream, of all people. She was touring Britain at the time. And just a bug caught me. I never ever thought I'd be doing this, streaming. Right, a very classic view of London. There's the Dome building in the middle being St Paul's, and to the right of that is the City of London. I need to figure out how to zoom this in. The bridge up there, just upstream, is Waterloo Bridge. It was built in 1942, opened in 1945. And it's often called the Ladies' Bridge because it was built during the Second World War, almost entirely by women. And you look at it, it's a very modern looking bridge. Yeah, life is very unpredictable. You're right there, Tito. It's all about people you meet and connections and stuff. And I found that in life. It's all the people you meet and the way they influence you, and you see what they do, and you get inspired by them. And I think that's why I've started streaming, because people have inspired me. A couple of streamers have inspired me to do this, and it's also company for me while I'm doing my walks, because I'm often walking around. Right. In 1951, Britain held a Festival of Britain to show the world that it had recovered from the World War. That had taken place 6 years prior to that. And they built the Royal Festival Halls and had a Festival of Britain in this area. The Royal Festival is what is left over from that, and the whole site around there used to be the Festival of Britain, but now it's been rebuilt and everything, and so you've got the Elizabeth Hall over there, and you've also got the National Theatre. It's getting quite warm. I must say I've got a passion for these trains going across the bridge here and that, because that was my job once, signalling these trains across this bridge. I did it for 25 years. I was based at London Bridge, and I loved the job. Every day was different. And none of it was automated, it's all done by hand. It was only till recent times that it became automated. Look over to North Side London. I don't know if you can see it, almost dead centre, there's like an Egyptian needle there. Well, it is Egyptian. It's the Cleopatra's needle, and it was brought over from Egypt in, I can't remember the date now. It was brought over from Egypt there, and it's to commemorate certain battles that took place. But it had a rocky trip coming over because the ship that first brought it sank, and the needle itself was found floating. They recovered it, and eventually it made its way here. Shame I can't zoom in on it. I need to look into that. Right.
You've got to understand, you went too fucking far.
Local down and out. Excuse the language, chat. Ooh. Ah. Ada, welcome to my stream. No sun, how do we get vitamin D? Take supplements. Seriously. No, we do get a lot of sun. It's actually a myth that England is always rainy and dull, and it's not true. In fact, over the last 10 years we've had more sun than we've had rain, and London is one of the driest cities in England. We get very dry periods. Most summers now are dry here. A lot of the local reservoirs which collect the water for public use run dry or run nearly empty, and it's becoming a concern. But yeah, it's actually quite a myth that we don't get sun. But yeah, you're right, Sam, even when it's overcast there is UV, and that's what I often say on streams where people complain about the streamers keep putting sun cream on. Even with a cloud, 80% of the UV comes through the cloud still. So you still get it, and I know that for a fact because I've done a lot of climbing mountains and scrambling and stuff when it's been overcast and I've got sunburn. It's this fact that just because it's cloudy, you don't get the sunlight. In fact, if you go and look at it scientifically, if it's daylight and you can see the sun's shining and it's shining through the clouds, because without that you wouldn't see anything. Oh dear. Fully agree with that. No smoking cigarettes. I've never smoked in my life. Which is probably why at my ripe old age I'm not in bad condition. I do suffer with my lungs a bit because unfortunately during COVID, because of the job I did, I had to carry on working, so I wasn't isolated at home during COVID, and I did go down with COVID twice, and I suffer with my lungs sometimes. I get shortness of breath. Yes, Sam, I haven't got one at the moment. I've got my normal glasses on, but I've got some reactor light glasses, and I fully agree. Even in cloudy conditions, they actually darken down. This is Waterloo Bridge. Bearing in mind it was built in the 1940s. It is actually quite modern looking. But concrete was used in them days, especially for fortifications and stuff during the war. And when they built this bridge, they used cast concrete, and as you can see, it's still in good condition today. There was a bridge here prior to this, built in 1817, originally called the Strand Bridge. It got renamed Waterloo Bridge because of at some point someone decided that everything needed to be in commemoration of battles that Britain fought. So obviously this one's named after the Battle of Waterloo. I'm actually surprised I'm keeping signal. I hear so much about streamers having trouble streaming in London. So this used to around here used to be the site of the Festival of Britain, but it's all redeveloped, and you've got the National Theatre just through there, which is where they hold plays and stuff. Yeah, it does suck, Sam, you're right, COVID wasn't brilliant. I used to travel up and down to work by train, and the trains would be empty. You know, I'm convinced I never caught the COVID from anyone outside or being outside. I caught it because I was working with people that probably had it. My workplace, unfortunately, didn't put in any proper conditions to prevent people from spreading it. But I stayed away from family during the whole period because going out and that, I didn't want anyone else. It's a good job I did, because having caught COVID twice. Apparently it scars the lungs, and that's why, that's what the doctor told me, that's why I occasionally get out of breath when I'm doing things. These trees are London plane trees. They're specially designed, or especially created to live in environments where there's heavy pollution. So they thrive in London because of the pollution, believe it or not. They actually filter out the pollution and replace back in there. Yeah, it's a marvellous tree. They're all over London. And it's nice to see the green in London. Pulmonary fibrosis, I believe it's, it sounds right, sounds about right. It's annoying because I've never smoked all my life and I've always looked after my lungs, I've always looked after my health. And just that one thing has damaged my lungs a bit. It doesn't always affect me, suddenly it just creeps up on me. Like all that across the other side of the river, from Waterloo Bridge, all the way down there, to just the base of St Paul's, which is where Blackfriars Bridge is. That's the Victoria Embankment. And that didn't exist until the 19th century, when Joseph Bazalgette did a great thing for London. He constructed sewers to remove the pollution of all the sewerage that London has produced. So behind all that wall you see across the river there is sewers, and also the London Underground line, the circle lines there, all hidden away. And that was a big boom for London at the time. Yes, Titor, it's dead centre almost. I'm almost in the city of London. In fact, I'm probably just approaching the city of London now. I was in the city of Westminster, which is part of London, west side of London. And I'm heading towards the city, but it's extra quiet because it's early in the morning. It's just gone 7 o'clock here. Tourists don't come out this time of the morning. I don't know what time tourists surface, but you've got London to yourself almost. You've got all the early morning joggers and people going to work. It's starting to build up, the traffic's starting to build up from when I first arrived. But yeah, it's quite quiet. Sam, if you knew the National Health Service in this country, there's no way I will get a cardiac workout from my GP. I can't even get an appointment with my GP. Last time I was ill, which was about a year and a half ago, I had severe stomach pains. And I had no idea what it was. I asked for an appointment, wouldn't give me an appointment, got an online appointment in the end, and the doctor said, oh yeah, you've got stomach ulcers. Take these tablets. And I took these tablets and they made me ill, made me depressed. And in the end I weaned myself off of them because I couldn't get an appointment with the doctor. Eventually I got an appointment with the doctor. When they examined me, it turns out I'd pulled a stomach muscle, internal stomach muscle. And there was no stomach ulcers in the first place. So I went through all that suffering with those tablets for nothing. Yeah, the NHS is bad. It's really that bad here. Even going 999 to get an ambulance. Unless you're on death's door, so you're at the point of collapsing and going to die any second, they won't come to you. They prioritise all other calls. I woke, again related to the same condition. I woke up, about 2 in the morning, no, 1 o'clock in the morning it was. I woke up 1 o'clock in the morning with severe pain in my side. And it was giving me pain. Each time I moved it hurt, and so I thought I don't drive, so I don't know other way to get into hospital. And I rang up the ambulance people and said, oh yeah, it sounds like you might have problems there. We'll get an ambulance out to you. 4 hours later they rang me up and said, sorry, we can't get an ambulance to you. Can you tell me if your conditions have improved or got anything? And that they hadn't. And in the end they got me a taxi to take me to hospital. It is bad. It's bad. I do have private insurance now. That's better because you get to see a GP straight away. But you shouldn't have to do that in this country. I feel like it's not right that I should have private insurance. It's not right that we should have to pay for it. It's a basic medical and a basic human right for everyone to have medical care. But that's politics. Oh. Oh. That over there is St Paul's, and that building lasted through World War II with all the Blitz on London, and it was never touched. The reason why it was never touched was because back then there wasn't such things as radar and GPS and things like that to find out where you were. So the only way that the enemy knew where London was by looking for St Paul's. And once they found St Paul's, they knew they were in the centre of London. So they never bombed it because it was a site they needed. Yeah, take care, Tito. Thanks for popping in. I'll catch you again soon, mate. Take care. Right. Yeah, it wasn't just that, Sam. They used to bomb, used to fly over. Used to have huge blitz raids with bombers coming over. V1 rockets, which were flying bombs, pilotless flying bombs, were launched and had enough fuel to get to a certain distance, often falling short of London. They were quite, used to be called doodle bugs by the locals. They used to roar, and as soon as the roar stopped, everyone ducked because they knew it's going to fall out of the sky. V2 rockets was a totally different thing. They're like modern day ballistic missiles. They were guided. They knew exactly calculated distances an arc it would fly, and there was no warning of that. You just get an explosion. Just all of a sudden there'd be an explosion, and no one would get any warning of them coming. Unfortunately, they didn't last long, and the war ended. Whew. In contrast to what we saw upstream, downstream, those buildings which we can see through there, they're all office blocks. Whereas what we saw upstream were all apartment blocks, they are all office blocks, and they are in more or less the city of London, the financial district. The bridge immediately in front of us is Blackfriars Bridge. Quite ornate bridge. That carries the Blackfriars Road over it. Just beyond that, which you can't really see from here, I'll show you from the other side in a while, is Blackfriars Bridge on the railway side. It's a station that's actually built across the river. If any of you are into watching Mission Impossible, that's the bridge that Tom Cruise has ran across the roof on. I haven't been on it yet, Sam. If you're still with me when I get there, I'll be walking onto it. The Millennium Bridge. Interesting bridge. I'll tell you more about it when I get down. But it's not far away. In fact, that would be the next bridge I see after the railway bridge. Interestingly, I'm keeping signal through here, which marvels me. Now passing under what I said was the Blackfriars Station railway bridge. Quite impressive structure. It has been widened from the original bridge to accommodate the new station, which is 4 lines, 2 through platforms and 1 4 lines. It's where the start of the lines go down under and cross to North London. Hey, Rayvon, hey, nice to see you. Good morning, you at work? Right, Sam. The bridge just there, probably just about to see it, is the Millennium Bridge. I'll be walking on that in a minute. I'll pan round to this side, and this is the Blackfriars Railway Bridge I was talking about. And if you can see a train stopped up there. The station actually spans the whole of the river. The whole of the roof is all solar panels on top. As I say, if you watch a particular Mission Impossible movie, Tom Cruise ran across there on the top of those roofs. There's a better view of St Paul's Cathedral. Right, the Millennium Bridge. Let's just talk about that. The Millennium Bridge opened in 1999, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was 1999. But it closed almost immediately for several months while they had to do repairs on it. The reason why they had to do repairs on it, because when they opened it, so many people decided they want to visit it and walk across it. The motion of the people walking across the bridge caused it to sway. That's how it's got its nickname now, which is either the Wobbly Bridge or the Wibbly Wobbly Bridge. But what they've done is they fixed balances beneath the bridge so that any motion of anyone walking it is counterbalanced, so it stops it from swaying now. And yes, Sam, that's the bridge that was blown up. Blown up in... You work shifts then, Ray? You must do. Don't envy you, because I did that for 42 years and it wasn't good for my health when I retired. It's taken a lot of adjustment. So before I go over the bridge, I will show you this to the right of me here. This is the Tate Modern Gallery.
Just general mental sharpness and memory.
And this was built in the 1930s, as you can tell from its Art Deco style. But it wasn't built as a gallery originally, it was a power station for London. Stopped being a power station in 1981, I believe. Fell in disrepair for a while, and then it was taken over and in 2000 opened up as a gallery. and it's fantastic inside. I would take you in there, but I don't think it's open yet. But it's a fantastic building, and you can actually go up that tower and see London from it. Yes, right, I did shifts. When I first started shift work, it was 3 shifts of 8 hours each shift. So that included night work. And then it changed. Everyone voted for these 12-hour shifts, so you did 3 on, 4 off, 3 on, 4 off all the time, which wasn't too bad. And every now and then you got a long weekend, which is brilliant because it's like having a holiday. You could go away and you could, about 8 days you get off, and you could go away, go across to Europe and have a little short holiday every now and then, which was nice. On top of the holidays you were you entitled to as well. But yeah, shift work, I didn't like it. As I got older, the nights got worse and worse. As I was saying earlier on, that's why now I'm still getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. My body's just, it's just got used to it. Right, I'm going to take you up on this Millennium Bridge. Yeah, there is good and bad with shift work. It was good when I was married and the kids were growing up. It was good because I could take them to school if I was late shift. If I was morning shift, I'd be there to pick them up in the evening, and if I was nights, I could do both. Until I started 12-hour shifts, and then it changed. But by then the kids were a lot older. But yeah, it has a lot of benefits because things like shopping and stuff like that you can do when it's quiet. Yeah, it does have its benefits, and you get things done at home as well. But it's just grueling when you've got to do back-to-back 12-hour shifts. And you get home and you get just enough time to have about 6 hours kept, and then you go back again. You don't have time to do anything else. But you say there's benefits from it, and not benefits. Some people like it, some people don't. It was good. It probably didn't help me in my marriage, because my ex worked for the NHS as a paramedic, and she worked 12-hour shifts, and a lot of the time we clashed, so we never saw each other for weeks. I don't think that helped our relationship. Right, this is the Millennium Bridge, and directly opposite us is St Paul's. Apologise for squeaky shoes because it's wet and this is a metal surface. It squeaks. So looking upstream, that's where we've come from. Blackfriars Railway Bridge immediately in front of us. Better view of the Tate Modern. Looking downstream, immediately in front of us is Southwark Bridge, beyond that is Cannon Street Railway Bridge, and then right in the distance is the iconic Tower Bridge, which is recognised by many who know London. And off just to the right, the tall pointy building, is the Shard, tallest building in the UK. That actually is based almost next to where I used to work on the railway. And when they were building it, they gave out free passes for people to go and see it. But they neglected us, they forgot us. Everyone else on the railway got to go up it, but I didn't. And I still haven't been up there to this day. Not a great one for heights on buildings. I can climb the side of a mountain, no issues at all. You take me up on a building and they put it down to the fact that buildings are don't stay still, they slightly move, and the brain can pick up the slight movements. And that's probably why I don't like it. Yeah, the bridge is no longer wobbly, even my weight on it, right? It's not wobbly. It's nice. I've walked this bridge countless times. Because when I used to work at London Bridge, on a Sunday morning there was no trains to get me across London. So I used to walk the 4 miles across to King's Cross to get my train home from there. And it was lovely walking here because there was no one, absolutely no one. And often you come across films being made. They'd have streets sectioned off and they'd be making films, and that's quite interesting to watch. Never knew what the films were they were making, but it was interesting to watch. As you can see, there's more and more people now appearing. One for Ivan. No idea. But it's probably going to City of London Airport. You can see the impressive site of St Paul's. It is an impressive structure. Believe it or not, the dome is made of wood. Because there's no way, if it's made of stone, there was no way that would support that, and it's made of wood. Right, I'm going to take you for a little walk through part of the city. Before going back across Southwark Bridge. Oops. well done, Ryan. Plane coming from Zurich. I knew you'd know. I don't quite follow flights. I do know where to look up for them and everything, but I'm more of a shipping fan. I'm caught on Wyver Stream and he shows ships and that, and since that I've been quite interested in that. So when people like Era are looking at cruise ships, immediately I'm looking for it on the websites and that, and seeing what cruise ship she's looking at. Sam, yes, 9 3/4 at King's Cross. Well, you go to King's Cross and they've got a section sort of fenced off for the tourists, 9 3/4, but it's not where the 9 3/4 was actually filmed. The exact location where that was filmed was on platforms 4 and 5 at King's Cross. About midway down the platforms, where they run into the wall and disappear and appear in 9 3/4. Well, that's where that was filmed. Is that Flight Radar 24? Right. I've used that, and there's the other one, ADSB exchange, which is quite good. That's better for finding out like military flights and stuff like that. Why not 9 3/4? Well, we're now into the city proper. This is London. This is actual London. Everything else is boroughs of London. Don't actually belong, not London proper. All these properties are all office properties. If you look carefully in just across the road there, you'll see a church hidden amongst the buildings. That's quite common in London. And of course they don't pull churches down and they just build random. And there's just hundreds of churches in London hidden away like that. But originally they were in the open. Yeah, Vessel Finder, I use that one. Right. There is marine traffic, but it's not, I don't think it's as accurate. I just find ships fascinating, the size of them and everything, it's unbelievable. It is sad, Ray, that they build random, but unfortunately it's part of evolving cities, isn't it? City of London is becoming like New York. They build buildings and they pull them down and then rebuild buildings and pull them down and rebuild buildings. That's constantly what London's like. But a lot of the old London does exist still. Somehow I've got to cross this busy road down the bottom to get to the bridge. Another one arriving. It's quite busy, this city airport. I've flown out there a couple of times to Germany. It's quite convenient for me because it's just 30 minutes into London and just a 20-minute ride on the Docklands Light Railway to get out there. It's a nice little trip. Unlike Heathrow, which takes me nearly 3 hours to get to. Gatwick's easier because at Gatwick I've got a direct train. And I do have Luton, which is next door to where I live. Where all those cars are streaming off, that's Southwark Bridge, which I'm going to walk across to get back to the South Bank. Yeah, I know what you mean about that arriving being Portsmouth in the Royal Navy. I come from Chatham in Kent. That's where I was born. I lived there for 39 years. When I went to school, all the schooling was based on getting an apprentice at the Chatham Dockyard. That's all they schooled us for. So I went to a technical school, studied O-levels, A-levels and everything. But by the time I got to the fifth year, I think it was the 5th year, Chatham Dockyard shut. So as a result, all the training they'd been giving me for doing apprenticeships and that, because I've got an engineering background, that's what I got, wasn't there. So I channeled my thoughts into becoming an architect. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that because I couldn't afford to go to university, coming from a working class background, and I ended up joining the railway and pursued my engineering career operating principles on the actual railway. But yeah, Chatham Dockyard, that was, everyone worked Chatham Dockyard. Anyone in the street, you always knew someone in your street you lived in worked in Chatham Dockyard. In fact, Portsmouth has got one ship that was built in Chatham Dockyard. That's the famous HMS Victory, which Lord Nelson sailed in. Oh, thank you, Tronk Tony, for following. Very kind of you. In fact, you're my first follower live online, I think. Certainly the first one I've had as an alert anyway. That scared the life out of me. Is my accent considered estuary English? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what my accent is. Where I come from a place called a county called Kent. I come from a place called Chatham. The accent in Chatham is typically where people drop their H's in the way they speak. So it's I have and stuff like that. And I lost that because I worked in London for so long. A lot of people think I've got more of a London accent. In fact, when I go abroad, especially the United States, they always refer to me as being Cockney, which wouldn't be far from the truth, I know, because I worked in South East London. But I don't know what accent I've got because I can't stand watching myself and hearing myself talk. I've yet to see my first stream. Your best friend's father was a train driver. Oh, that's cool. Right. I know a lot of train drivers. A good job, well-paid job. In fact, most jobs on the railway are pretty well paid. The railway was a community. Well, it was until they privatised it. Everyone knew everyone, and we were all in the family in that. Because I was 4th generation railwayman. My dad was a railwayman, and both my granddads were railwaymen. I mean, my great-granddad was also a railwayman. But yeah, it was a community, the railway, and everyone knew everyone. It was a great place to work. But as it privatised, it got all split up, and it became them and us, and even managers split away from the staff, and it just got ridiculous. What was a very good, interesting, friendly job became more and more difficult. Right. That there with the 2 towers is Cannon Street Railway Station. Another station I signalled when I was on the railway. Different to what it used to look like. It used to have an overall iron arched roof originally. That was taken down. First they removed the glass in the Second World War to save the glass, and then ended up putting it down in the 1950s. But in between they built office blocks, again airspace, sold by the railway, and that used to have the biggest roof garden in London above it. I don't know if it still holds that title. But that bridge was built originally in 1866, I believe. It's been extended a couple of times and strengthened and renovated. Nice view of the Shard again. The bridge I'm on now is Southwark Bridge. There was one bridge before this. Was built to relieve the pressure of the traffic on London Bridge and Blackfriars Bridge back in the 1800s. So, yeah, it was 1800s. But the people who built it thought they'd be clever and make it a toll bridge. So the task of it becoming a bridge to relieve the pressure of traffic never worked because no one wanted to pay to use it. Eventually the bridge was pulled down in early 1900s and replaced with the present day bridge, which the local council of the area got built, and it's been free to use, and it has been a good boon to relieving the pressure of traffic. But unfortunately there's a weight restriction on it now as well because it's getting quite weak. Ooh. How long have I been going for? Oh, good night, Mama Swig. Thanks for popping in. It's very kind of you. Take care and have a good night's sleep. Your AI claims it's estuary. I'll have to look that one up when I get home. So many Londoners have this accent. Many Londoners, see, that's what I was saying, because I've worked in London for so long, I think I've acquired the London accent. I mean, if you used to go drinking with me in a pub, you'd hear it more. And I start calling you bruv, because that's a typical southeastern thing, bruv. You all right, bruv? But yeah, it does. I mean, the people you work with, people you're around, and everything. It's what gives you the way you talk. You fall in line with everyone else. It's like you go and live in another country. Eventually, you acquire that accent. Oh, to be pointing out more pubs for Raven. We're still on the South Bank, better view of Cannon Street Bridge. The River Thames along this area is tidal. Presently it's on its way out, as you can see it's getting quite low. As you can tell, City Airport's quite busy. I don't know how big the airport is. It can't be that long. I think only certain aircraft can use it. Yeah, Ray, just for you, the Anchor pub, built in 1615. And inside it is beautiful, all the old beams and everything. Been in there many a time after work with colleagues with a drink. It's lovely. Famously at the end of Mission Impossible, the first one, Tom Cruise and his work colleagues sit outside here and out there having a drink. Right. I'm going to take you through here. I'm not sure how the signal's going to behave. Clink prison now, which is open to the public if people want to visit it. I've never been in there.
I don't fully know how they're going to replace it, but it's going to need to be a particular.
Starting to get more and more people as the day moves on. As you can imagine, London's full of history, and you get things like this found and left, and they don't pull down, they keep it. It's part of what was Winchester Palace. Yeah, you're right, Ryman, we are all human. And that extends not just to languages, it extends to personalities and characters and perfection and all this people think you should have in people, but everyone has their imperfections, and the imperfections that make people individuals. If everyone was perfect, it would be a boring world. And this is a replica of the Golden Hind, it's not the real one. It's used, they use it for school parties and kids go on board and they do activities and stuff on it. The building just ahead of me now is Southwark Cathedral. And Southwark Cathedral actually has a bishop. This way. I'm not sure if I can get round here because there's a lot of work going on. That's Southwark Cathedral. I think meeting on people online is very good. It helps people, especially people like me. I'm quite shy and extrovert. I struggle meeting people and stuff and talking to people. I'm all right in my own comfort zone in things I know about. But if something's new to me or strange, I struggle with it. Now the next bridge I'll be coming to is London Bridge. That ahead of me is the bridge that was here before the bridge that we're going to walk over, and it is what's left of the bridge that went to Lake Havasu in America. The one that the Americans famously bought and took brick by brick and shipped out there and rebuilt. But this part of it still remains. You're right, Riven. It's interesting the people we connect with from around the world. What I've learned, there's people who would love to see the world but can't see the world, and things like Twitch and IRL help them see things they probably never will be able to see in their life. But see it from our perspective as a streamer. See it the way we see it, rather than see it as these glossy TV things show and that. Right. I'll take you guys across London Bridge, and as you can see, the commuters are here now, so it's going to be a little bit busy. In fact, I know what, I will take the other way. It's a bit too busy to go across London Bridge. I go down by the waterfront. I'll tell you what, Riven, Era and the likes must have strong arms to carry a selfie stick all day long on them. Oh, I've only been holding mine for just over an hour and a half, and already it's killing me. Phone in one end, selfie stick in the other, and they're not heavy either. I tell you what, guys, it's a good job there's not a thing called smelly vision on Twitch. God, it's stunk around there. I was going to walk across London Bridge, but there's just too many people this time of day. So I'm going to take a walk along the front if I can find the way through to it. I'll finish up at Tower Bridge. How do you do yours though, Ryan? Do you have a selfie stick, or do you just hold the phone? And... Well, no, I don't use a phone for the camera. I've actually got an Action 4, so I haven't got the weight of a phone on the end of the selfie stick. But I'm quite happy with the setup I've got. Certainly grateful for Tyken for his help. I use a Bella box which is on my back. It's quite light, it's only a light thing, lighter than the phone. It's the batteries that weigh. I've got 2 modems connected to it, so I've got 2 SIM cards. Say 2 SIM cards. I've got 1 SIM card, and I use a hotspot off my mobile phone, which are all unlimited data. So one's 3, one's EE. So hopefully connection stays. Yeah, I thought of using phones, Raven, but I just don't like the idea of having 2 phones visible all the time, especially when I walk places like here. Opposite us here is a tall building. It's called the walkie-talkie because it looks like an old cell phone that you used to have years ago. And it's concave in shape, and when it was first built, the sun used to reflect off of it and reflect behind me into car parks and etc. And used to melt tyres on cars and things. And they had to come up with an idea, and the idea was what they have done is they've got shuttered screens all the way up and down the glass. But how the designers ever missed that, I don't know. They must have looked to the fact where the sun shines from. Thank you, Raven. I'm glad it is good. I always fear that it's not, because I'm finding it difficult to view the stream and watch it. My camera, when I first used it, I had a view on the back. For some reason today, the view's not on the back of it or the front of it. I don't know why. It comes on but then goes off. So I need to look at the settings for that. So I've actually got the Twitch broadcast on my phone as a PMP, so I can see what's going on, to see that there is at least a picture. Right. Don't know if any of you out there are interested in warships. There is a warship built in 1937, HMS Belfast. It's a light cruiser. Not a battleship as many people seem to think it is. It's a light cruiser. It's used in D-Day landings, and it was also used extensively in the Second World War, but it was also used in the Korean War as well, before retiring and being brought up here and moored as a museum. Alongside it there's a cruise ship at the moment. I don't know what it is. I have to look that one up. Now all along the Thames used to be warehouses, and Hayes Galleria is one of them, which they've done up, extensively done up, and utilised it as a place for food and selling things.
Kind of thing, and they were like,
As you can see, this one's been done up very well, very lovely restored. I don't know what sort of food imports they would have had here. It's very, very beautiful. Another pub here for Raven. The Horniman. Again, another pub, because it's just along from London Bridge where I used to work. There's another haunt of us work colleagues on a Thursday afternoon. We come in here because we had a long weekend coming up, so we come here and have a few drinks, sometimes well into the evening. Lovely place. Ooh. Have you been to London, Raven? Or do you frequent it at all? London's one of those places that's always fascinated me. I used to come up here as a kid because my dad works on the railway. I used to be able to get cheap train travel, so I used to be able to come up into London and travel on the trains, get in here. Often walk around. Museums was also a common place to go to. Kew Gardens was a nice place. I used to like walking around. Getting very well built up around here and modern buildings. We're almost at my finishing point.
That should be the other way, and it should be.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid at junior school, we used to go on trips to museums, always coming up to London trips, and I still love it. I used to love the journey coming up and everything by coach, and so when my parents finally allowed me to wander around on my own, and that, I used to use the privilege tickets I used to get on the railway and travel into London. I used to love it. Right, this is the Tower Bridge, but opposite is the Tower of London. The square thing in the middle with all the towers on the four corners, that is a Norman keep. That was built by William the Conqueror after the Battle of Hastings when they conquered England. And the rest of the concentric walls that are around it were built later on over the years to protect the keep. But today it's used prominently. I believe it's called His Majesty's Royal Palace of the Tower of London or something like that. And that's where the crown jewels are kept, because it's very high security. But you can visit that, you can walk around it and have a look at it. The keep thing is called the White Tower. Tower Bridge is quite young. In fact, the railways were in London before that was built. Trying to think of the date it was built now. The railways appeared in London in 1836. I think it was around about 1860 something it was built. And whilst it looks like it's a stone structure, in actual fact it is iron girders, steel girders built with stone cladding. The bit in the middle actually rises up and down, and there is a website where you can see when it rises up and down, so if you ever want to see it, you can come here and watch it. It's quite impressive. Uber boats. You can hop on, hop off them like you can the tube and the buses. Just tap in your car to go on them, and you can go up and down the river on them. Go out as far as the Thames barrier, which is down at Charlton. You can travel on all the way down there and back.
That's what this Friday next week.
So all of this years ago, we've been thriving business of wharves and warehouses and stuff being delivered from all around the world. And further down there would have been docklands. All the ships used to come in and unload. Much of that, well, all of it's been killed off by road and air transport. Good morning, Daisy. Good morning, Olivia. Hello. Welcome to my stream. Unfortunately, you've come to the end of it almost. I've walked from Big Ben to Tower Bridge. It is very beautiful. I do a lot of early morning walks, and I thought I'd start streaming and showing them to everyone. Oh, right. Oh, thank you, Daisy, for following. That's very kind of you. Oh, I am physically wore out. Oh. Good morning, Mr. Flatline. Oh. Right. Oh, thank you everyone for being here. It's been a struggle, I must say. Whew. Right. I've been walking now for quite a while. I've now come to the point where I need to go and get some breakfast and end my stream. So I'd like to thank everyone for being here. Keep a lookout because I will be doing more streams, particularly in London because I like London and I visit here a lot. Ryvan, thank you for being here. Captain Sam, thank you for being here. Very kind of you. I'm sorry, Mr. Flatline, that you've come in on the end of it, but I do tend to do early morning streams. Yeah, thank you very much. I'd like to say goodbye now, and I'll catch you on the next one. Okay, and I'll post my Discord link in my channel so that people can link to that, and then you know when I'm live. So thank you for very much for being with me, and I'll catch you on the next stream.